In each of my live streams, I get asked about the huge migration we had recently into 1254. So in this video, I will tell you about the continuation of our love story with 556, these two nearly 600 million power players that we brought into the kingdom, the evolution of the story with I Am Jolly, and more. Let's get going. Hello my friends and welcome back. I'm Chisgule Gaming and today's video is sponsored by the makers of Rise of Kingdoms. And for those of you that have been following my channel for a while, you know that we planned a huge migration to our kingdom and we made pretty major sacrifices, people losing tons of power so that we could get in a major migration. And there were a couple things that we wanted to accomplish. One of those things was to bring in a whole new alliance worth of players, that is HMB. This alliance, by the way, is run by War Daddy Chad and Peace, and you've heard War Daddy Chad on voice in a number of my live streams. But we also wanted to bring players into each of the other alliances in the kingdom. In fact, we brought in so many players that we ultimately ran out of space, and we've got a bunch of people in, I guess, sort of a holdover period in the Cute and Fun Farmers Alliance until we get into KVK. I think the thing that is most noteworthy about the alliance powers on the screen now is that TR is already back to nearly 15 billion power, and that is in large part because of two very large players that were brought into the kingdom, and they are, in fact, I have confirmed it, a father-son duo. This is Mr. Hope and Wild Lion, and they have pretty young accounts in the grand scheme of things. In fact, I would say that we brought in a lot of players that are really high potential, and in this next KVK, we'll see just how many deads they throw down and how many kills they pull down. Of course, all of these players who have younger accounts, we're hopeful will really put up big numbers in the upcoming KVKs that we have, because in 254, although we don't queue up every single pop that we get, we do like to line up really difficult fights, and we wait for that right opponent to go fight before we actually queue for KVK. But in addition to bringing in some high power players, we also need to look at the alliance kills, which are really, really high. Obviously higher than they have ever been in this kingdom. We're looking at 814 billion kill points for TR, 674 billion kill points for W, that's my alliance. Q Savan is at 300 and almost 90 billion kill points. This was formerly named Liv. They changed their name to Q7 as a part of a sort of funny joke that took place, and then Liv got taken by somebody else. So they jokingly named themselves Q7 Forever, and now they actually are Q7 Forever because they can't go back to Liv. And then Hold My Beer is the alliance by War Daddy Chad, and Viper Strike at 161 billion kill points, by the way, is considered an Academy alliance, which is hilarious because that's actually a pretty big number. By the way, in HMB, the kill points are at almost 300 billion. But as I promised, there's something that you don't see really represented here that you will notice immediately in the individual kills section, which is that our love story with 556 has reached new levels. Instead of just fighting against each other all the time, what if we just join kingdoms together? And so a bunch of players from 556 have actually joined 254. And honestly, there were a lot of really strong players that were in 556 that would have been really great to bring them here as well. They're going somewhere else. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But you notice now at the top of the individual kill board is It's Saz, someone who we have fought against multiple times. And honestly, like, I hope that they don't feel like there's any bad blood between me and them because, like, we've been at odds for, like, a really long time, because I'm pretty hyped that they're in this kingdom. And honestly, I would say that group is probably one of the big highlights of really high power, high impact players that came into the kingdom. So I think they are going to be super impactful and honestly have a lot of fun playing in 254 because I think their mentality certainly matches our mentality for going completely nuts in KVK and losing lots of troops. So Saz is now at the top of the kill board, followed by Bunny, who I forget who made the joke that Bunny's been slacking, but there you go. He's now number 2 on the kill board in 254, which honestly, like, when you bring in players that have more stats than the players you already had that were at the top, like, that's That's really kind of like what you're looking for in a really strong migration here. Now, if we scroll down the list, I'm currently in 9th. I'm doing all right. We got a rogue player in 11th. Poggers, let's go. And I can keep going down this list, but you kind of get the idea here. So we got some really high power, high kill point players into the kingdom, which I'm hyped about, which may leave you wondering, like, wait a minute. So if some players from 556 came here, where are the rest of players 556 going and what are they doing? This mail is obviously a little bit old. It was sent on the 8th of October, but it's the latest information I have, which is that essentially Fa and a group from 556 are going to migrate back to a young kingdom to go win Osiris League. So as he says here in this mail, Dear 1556, we have about 5 days left in our current KVK. We hope you all enjoyed it. For the past weeks, our councils worked together to get us ready for the next KVK. We'll be registering right away after this one, so please get ready with resources, save speeds. Now, everything I've read so far, you're like, okay, Chisgule, the mail is titled The Last Dance. Why is this called The Last Dance? Well, over here it says, in the next page of this mail, I'd like to let everyone know with a heavy heart that this next KVK will be my last in 556. I had played for 7 KVKs in this kingdom, and every KVK I've given 100%. The next is the 8th KVK in 556, and I will give my 200% and help us win, hopefully. And after that, winning or losing, I will be moving to a newer kingdom that's a 2000 series kingdom, starting a new project with some friends and family, and my dream is to win the Osiris League. So moving to a newer kingdom will give a better chance to do so. And that's absolutely the case. I think, with no offense intended to the younger realms, they are simply easier competition, with the exception of trying to go into the same realm as 1960, because that would not go well probably for a new aspiring team trying to go and take an Osiris League title. But generally speaking, if you really wanted to win Osiris League, you would go to a younger realm where, with no offense intended, it is easier to win. And I think the reason that that is the case is in part because the players are generally, on average, less experienced. It's younger realms. And also, when you migrate back to a younger realm like that, you should theoretically have a huge commander and account age advantage, not only the experience advantage, because just collecting your daily sculptures and equipment and all those things really adds up over time. But he does say, however, everyone is invited to join this project that I'm working on. It'll be a great place for fighters to be at. If you're interested, please contact RHY. And honestly, if you all are interested in joining them, look at this. I am promoting a migration for 556. If you all would like to join them and their new project, I can certainly get more information. Let me know down below in the comments, and then I can share that with you in a later video. There we go. So 556, I believe, has one more KVK. I don't think this has actually happened yet, that 8th KVK. And then, boom, they go to that 2000 series kingdom, try to win Osiris League. There is, of course, one player who you'll notice is missing from the power rankings, almost had a chance to zero him, and that is I Am Jolly, who has now left the kingdom. So some number of people have made their way in and some number of people have left. And that, I believe, concludes the majority of the G3 drama and rogue player traitor stuff that was going on. And if you missed that video where we were attempting to zero I Am Jolly, who was in part disrupting the big migration we were having into the kingdom, I'll have a card up in the top so you can go check that out. I mean, gosh, it's so contentious when you try to zero a player, even if they are actively trying to harm the kingdom, are actively trying to steal Mightiest Governor, are actively trying to hurt the kingdom's future prospects by trying to hinder migration. Like, all of these things can be true, and if you try to zero someone, there's just a shocking number of people in the broader Rise of Kingdoms world. They're going to be like, shame on you for trying to zero another player. Like, I don't know, man. It's almost like self-defense, but whatever. Without reopening that wound, which I almost certainly have just done, do me a huge favor and throw a like on this video to offset all the haters that are about to drop negative comments. Thank you. I appreciate you. And let's look at the final thing here that I think we can get a peek at, which is probably the achievement points. Now, maybe I've been slacking, okay? But I'm in 3rd for achievement points. Damn it. I'm behind Saz by 5 freaking points, and I'm behind Bunny, who's got a little bit more of a lead on me, like 115 points here. I think if I was actually keeping up with doing all the stupid quizzes, I actually could be #1 on this board, because there's like 100 achievement points or something stupid for like just going in and doing the daily quizzes and weekly quizzes and I guess midterms, whatever, and the final exams. But I somehow doubt that Bunny is doing those things. I somehow doubt that Saz is doing all those stupid quizzes. So that's where I'm at, up near the top, but not quite at the top for achievement points. And in case you missed it, in this most recent patch, you probably got a mail with some number of speed ups in it. That is because now, if you go and actually look at all the achievements, they do in fact list all of the different speed up rewards that you can get, which is kind of nice. And they added speed up rewards to a bunch of things. Also, you can now see which of these achievements have iconic crystals, which sort of leaves me wondering, how important is it that I get this additional iconic crystal going for 4 additional legendaries and sort of changing up my plans, which would have been maybe doing some more refining, getting a few crit legendaries rather than going for more legendaries. I don't know. We'll see. I'll probably end up with this Emperor's New Clothes achievement after a little bit of time. It's probably going to take some time before I actually hunt that thing. And honestly, this Golden Armory thing is going to be just completely insane to go and get. 40 crit legendary equipment. But I do think, in no small part, by the way, the fact that a number of high-spending whales are reaching the point where they're like, hey, I have all my equipment, assuredly that is why the new formation system is in part on its way into the game, to give those players certainly something else to collect, and hopefully all of us some strategic choices. That's the promise anyways of the new formation system, and if you're looking for more information about that formation system, I made the most watched video about that topic. That video will be in the end screen over here. And if you want to see the shockingly controversial situation where we were zeroing Jolly and all of the drama surrounding it, all of the video that shows some of that and summarizes it right over here in the end screen.